In 2015, I weighed about 285 pounds, but the weight wasn't the real issue. The weight was evidence evidence of stress, evidence of neglect, evidence of survival mode, evidence that I was taking care of responsibilities, business, and everyone else's expectations, but I had stopped taking care of me. And then my body sent me a notice, not a warning, a notice. I ended up in the emergency room, and the nurse told me that my blood sugar was almost 1,000. Almost 1,000. She looked at me and said I should have been in a diabetic coma. That was the moment I realized something. I could not talk my way around, pray my way around, dress up, or ignore anymore. I wasn't just overweight, I was in danger. And if I didn't rebuild my life, I might not be around to live the life that I kept saying that I wanted. So this episode is personal. This is not medical advice. This is scar tissue advice. This is the story of how I went from 285 pounds on the edge of a health emergency to losing almost 85 pounds in about 15 months, and more importantly, keeping it off. This is The Rebuild with Les Allen. Today, we're talking about rebuilding the body, rebuilding the mind, and rebuilding the life connected to both. Now, let me pause right here for a sec, fam. If you've been here too, write chunky in the comments. Here's what I know. Your body keeps records. It keeps records of what you eat. It keeps records of how you sleep. It keeps records of how much stress you carry. It keeps records of what you refuse to confront. You can fool people. You can smile in pictures. You can keep showing up at work. You can say, I'm good. You can be the strong one. You can be the provider. You can be the one that everyone calls when they need something. But your body knows, and eventually your body will tell the truth. In 2015, mine told me the truth in that emergency room. At the time, I was in a stressful marriage, and I want to be careful here because this is not about blaming another person. This is about telling the whole truth. Sometimes the weight on your body is connected to the weight in your life. Sometimes you're not just eating too much. Sometimes you're coping too much. Sometimes you're not just hungry, you're stressed. Sometimes you're not lazy, you're exhausted. Sometimes your body is carrying what your mouth has never said out loud. And for me, that was real. I was living in a way that was costly to me physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And the emergency room became the place where I had to stop negotiating with reality. My blood sugar was almost 1,000. The nurse said I should have been in a diabetic coma. And at that moment, all excuses got quiet. I wish I could tell you that my change came because I was just so disciplined and focused. I was that guy. But the truth is, sometimes change starts because life scares you. Sometimes you don't change because you're inspired. You change because the consequences finally get loud enough. We've seen public figures talk about this too. Anthony Anderson has spoken openly about his type 2 diabetes journey and how he had to get real about managing his health. But this episode is not about celebrities. This is about what happens when your own body finally tells you, you can't keep living like this, dude. That hospital visit woke me up. It made me ask myself one hard question. Les, are you protecting your temple or are you abusing it? And I had to be honest, I was abusing it. Not because I didn't know better. A lot of us know better. Knowing better is not always the problem. The problem is when your pain has more control than your discipline. The problem is when your stress becomes your permission slip. The problem is when you keep saying, I'll get to it, but your body is already flashing warning lights. And let me say this directly to my fellas that are listening, especially black men listening. We cannot keep treating our bodies like rental cars. We'll change the oil in our cars. We'll service work equipment. We'll protect the business account. We'll maintain the tools we use. But then we treat the body that is carrying all that like it does not need maintenance. That's backward as hell. You have to remember, you are the asset. Your body is not just your body. It's your vehicle. It's your platform. It's the vessel that God loaned to us to complete your assignment. And if that breaks down, everything attached to you feels it. Within about 15 months, I lost close to 85 pounds. But let me tell you what it was not. It was not magic. It was not a perfect diet. It was not because I became some fitness influencer. It was decision, discipline, and repetition. I started eating better. I started moving. I started working out about 5 days a week. And at first, it wasn't cute. This is the part that people skip. The beginning was humbling. You're in the gym trying to act like you know what you're doing. You're sweating a lot. You're breathing loud, fast, and a lot. You are sore in places that you forgot existed. You are trying to figure out what to eat, what not to eat, and why everything that tastes so good comes with consequences. But I made up my mind, and when your mind changes, your habits have to catch up. That is the rebuild principle. You do not rebuild your life by making a declaration. You rebuild your life by installing a system for what you eat, a system for when you move, a system how you recover, a system for how you respond to stress, and a system for how you talk to yourself when you do not feel like doing what you said you were going to do. Because motivation is too emotional to be in charge. As a matter of fact, motivation is a visitor. Discipline has to live there. The deeper part of this story is that I had to lose more than pounds. I had to learn the version of me that thought survival was success. I had to lose the habit of ignoring pain. I had to lose the belief that being strong meant staying silent. I had to lose the idea that as long as I was functioning, I was fine. Because a lot of people are functioning and failing at the same time. They are paying bills, but dying inside. They are showing up, but breaking down. They are smiling, but sick. They are producing, but not healing. That was me. And rebuilding my health forced me to rebuild other parts of my life too. Eventually, I divorced. Now, I'm not saying that divorce is the answer for everyone, but I'm saying this. You cannot get healthy while staying loyal to everything that keeps making you sick. Sometimes the rebuild requires an honest inventory. What's feeding me? What's draining me? What's strengthening me? What is slowly killing me while I keep calling it normal? But those are not easy questions, but they are definitely necessary questions. Because some people want a new body without telling the truth about the old life. And sometimes the old life is part of what created the old body. Today, my life looks different. I am happily married to my supportive best friend, and that's what matters. Because peace matters, support matters. Having someone who wants to see you healthy, whole, strong, and fully alive, that matters. I eat better. I work out about 5 days a week. I have kept the weight off, and I want to be clear. This is not a fairy tale where I say, everything disappeared and I have never had to think about it again. Nah, that ain't it. This is stewardship. This is management. This is responsibility. This is me waking up every day understanding that I do not get to be careless with my temple anymore, because I have seen what the edge looks like. I have heard that nurse tell me that I should be in a diabetic coma or dead. I have looked at my life and realized that I was too close to not being here. So now when I work out, it's not just about looking better. It's about trying to live longer. It's about being here for my wife, for my children, for my purpose, and being here for the people I am called to help. This is not vanity. This is assignment protection. The real lesson is this. Your body will eventually invoice you. And everything has a cost. Stress has a cost. Bad food has a cost. Lack of sleep has a cost. Unresolved anger has a cost. Staying too long in the wrong environment has a cost. You may not pay today, but that invoice is coming. And sometimes that invoice shows up as blood pressure, diabetes, exhaustion. Sometimes it shows up as anxiety. Sometimes it shows up as weight gain. Sometimes it shows up as a hospital visit where somebody looks you in your face and tells you that you should not even be standing here. So do not wait for the emergency room to become your wake-up call. Do not wait for your body to crash before you decide your life is worth protecting. Start with one honest decision. I cannot keep living like this. That's where your rebuild starts. Then you ask yourself, what am I going to eat today? Am I going to move today? Am I going to drink water today? Am I going to walk today? Am I going to tell myself the truth today? Because transformation is not built in the announcement. It's built in the daily decision. In 2015, I weighed about 285 pounds. My blood sugar was almost 1,000, and I had a choice. Keep pretending or rebuild. I chose rebuild. I lost almost 85 pounds in about 15 months. I changed how I ate. I changed how I moved. I changed how I managed stress. I changed what I tolerated. And by the grace of God, I am still here. So here's my message to someone who's listening. Your temple matters. Your health matters. Your peace matters. Your assignment matters. And sometimes the most powerful rebuild is not rebuilding a business, a career, a relationship, or a building. Sometimes the most powerful rebuild is rebuilding you. This is The Rebuild with Les Allen. Protect your temple. Rebuild your life. Now, if this episode spoke to you, please subscribe to the channel and most importantly, share it. Until the next episode, remember that respect is the only currency that doesn't lose its value. Stay sharp, stay respected, stay rebuilding. Peace.